When we initially started the planning, and the first numbers of attendance came through, we were like, wow, we're gonna have 40 people. And only 40 people. And as I look around this room today, it's kind of overwhelming because family, aunties, uncles, mentors. And this is not on cue, but this is exactly as it needs to be. Because of the tears that come forward, I asked you this question today. Oi, who are you? And in what way do you contribute to the water cycle of Waimea? In what way and how often does your sweat fall to the ground? How often do your tears fall and penetrate from your eyes and nutrify and nourish the ground below our feet? In what way do we choose and how often do we choose to park our cars and to walk to different places and different destinations in our community so that we are not contributing to the emissions that make our earth warm? This morning we're going to go ahead and start with an oli. And that oli is called A'alale Maile. It speaks about 3 kapu here in Waimea. And they're not kapu to be afraid of, they're kapu. They're opportunities for reverence, for pondering and for knowing. One of that kapu is a kapu of Kipu'upu, the rain, the stinging rain, the rain that comes with a hard wind. The one that when you're walking through Waimea, you can hardly even walk. The one that drives you to your car or to the safety of your hale. It talks about that of Lani Mau Mau, the stream that runs through our community and through our Waimea. And then it talks about the couple of Mauna Kea. Mauna Kea, that who is the protector, the provider of water to Hamakua. And Kohala, the provider of water to Waimea. Kuilo na kako. Ke ololo mai, kuilo na mahalo. And it's not so serious, so you can smile. I know I was serious, but it's okay. Exhale, smile, it's alright. All good. Because this is a lot more than 40 people. Mahalo nui for showing up. Mahalo. Alale maile o puka puka puaia kuai ke pupu kalia ena kia ia kala ni o mai kamalu o puo kuli hona makaya puka laiki mai o na ya kalia Alai Maika'i kanania oi mea oi havana kapu o lahi mauma. O ke o kola na tilia mauna wa ke ahe a mai e kale o na velo kupuna. Kanina kolo na pali kapu o na li Mahalo nui, aloha no. Mahalo.
Aloha. Again, welcome to all of you who are here. We're just so excited. When I saw the names of people who were signing up, I was just getting more and more excited because it's such a mix of our community. And that's what we wanted to see. We want to have people getting to know each other in this community. So start there. The second thing I want to say is that my comments are a reflection of my experience. And when I listen to Auntie Pomai or Mahina talk about what this movement, this Waimea Futures movement is about, they have very different ways of talking about it, but it's all what it's about. And we all are bringing our different experiences to understand that, what we're doing here. And so my experience comes from having worked with Hawaii Community Foundation for 33 years. and I was able to see what other communities do around the country. And so I'm kind of bringing that global perspective to say Waimea is doing what other communities are doing, that we're kind of at the leading edge, just saying. So I'm going to give a brief background of how we got here. In 2023, Hawaii Community Foundation and Mahina Paishan of Vai Vai Collective held 14 conversations. We wanted to hear from the community what this community wants to see happen. What is it that you love about this place? What is it that you want to make sure continues into the future? What are the challenges that we face? And what are we going to do about those challenges? So that kind of started the conversations. And then after that, Hawaii Community Foundation continued through the Richard Smart Fund, continued to support working with community. So the first thing we did is we formed an advisory committee, volunteer community advisory committee. The initial members were Mike and Tricia Hodson, Pomai Merlin, Susan Maddox, Patty Cook, and Rich Matsuda. And then Mike and Tricia stepped down, and they're busy. They just did that huge Paniolo week. And then Sam Ainsley and Sherry Schmidt stepped up. So we have a wonderful advisory committee. And so we called this whole effort Waimea Futures initially, because there's a variety of futures that are possible. So what is the future that we're going to end up creating? So we have our advisory committee, and then the advisory committee was tasked with redesigning the Richard Smart Fund grant program, which Hawaii Community Foundation had been administering from the funds that come from the Parker Ranch Foundation Trust. They've been administering grants in this community since 2001. I moved here in 2000 to actually do this work. And so since 2001 up till 2022, we kind of took a pause and decided to re-look at what we were using the funding for. So this volunteer advisory committee got together and they said, what did we hear in the conversations? We heard that people are concerned that there is a gap between people who've lived here a long time and people who are newer to the community. How do we bring people together? How do we help people who are newer learn about the character, the culture of this community and feel a part of it? So that bringing people together was important. Also, we wanted to make sure that the money was being used for addressing the issues that we had heard in the conversations. So that's how we really have focused on affordable housing, water, food security, and our culture and mo'olelo. What is the culture of this community that we want to keep? We want to continue on into the future. So in addition to the grants, we also, well, I'll just throw out the numbers. Anyway, by the end of 2024, and including 2023, the Richard Smart Fund had made a total of $728,000 in grants, plus another $150,000 in scholarships. And I'm not sure if you know, but Hawaii Community Foundation has been doing $150,000 in scholarships every year for quite some time, and it funds 30 students who get $5,000 each and can keep renewing that for several years until they get through their degree program. And then in this year, we had another grant round and have given away over $600,000. So let's see. So in addition to the grants, we also helped to form a learning cohort. It was called Hui Kumu Vai Vai. We had 12 people participate to learn more about Vai, about mo'olelo and culture, about food security, and about land development and growth in this community. We really just scratched the surface. There's so much, and we called on so many people in our community to come and be the kumu and help share. And what we would do is I would just invite Auntie Momi and I'd say, this is kind of what I want you to talk about. And then she would decide what she was going to talk about, and I'd say, fine, whatever you think we should know is what you talk about. You tell us that. So we had the cohort, we had the Keeping Waimea Culture Awards to kind of help people understand what it is that our culture is about and what we want to support. And now we have this summit. So that's kind of the history of how we got here. So here we are now at the summit. We're coming together to say, okay, this is what's happened since we heard from you in 2023. You may not have heard what we've been doing, so we wanted to check back in. Are these still the priorities? Are there other things we should be working on? We wanted you to see, this is who's being funded by the Richard Smart Fund. This is the work that's helping to support our community. What is this all about? Well, coming from Hawaii Community Foundation, one of the big initiatives for Hawaii Community Foundation was giving community voice. So I said, okay, let's do that in Waimea. Let's make sure that people in Waimea are speaking up, and many voices are speaking up. And so it's about what are we going to do? How do we help our people thrive? So as we move into the future. Too many people are not thriving. If you've ever heard of the Alice report, I mean, like 48%, almost half of the population in this island are not thriving. Now, I don't think that's a very successful society. A society that can't feed its people, house its people, provide good jobs for people, I don't think that's successful. I think it needs to be changed. It needs to be transformed. It's time to put all of the experiences that we all have, the knowledge, the resources that we have to figure out how everyone can thrive. That would be a more successful society. So that's what we're going to work towards. So how do we get there? I was influenced a great deal by a book called The Essentials of Theory U by Otto Scharmer. He's a global thought leader. I participated in one of his workshops on Zoom at 2:30 in the morning, and there were 1,100 people from all over the world that were talking about what they were doing to transform their communities. So according to Otto Scharmer, the path begins with seeing and sensing. Observe, 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 he writes. Observe the current situation to understand why is it so challenging for our farmers to make a living to provide food for this community. Observe our water system. You know, water is life, it's our precious resource. How is it being used? How much is available? How can we help to recharge our water sources? Observe the challenges that are involved in bringing more affordable housing so that our families, our farmers, teachers, healthcare workers, our children can afford to live here. My children can't. Observe, observe, observe. You may have heard the word being used, kilo. Vibrant Hawaii uses that word a lot, and Vibrant Hawaii uses it to say, look, observe, learn, and make improvements. Another word that you might have heard is na-na. Na-na ika'aina. Look to the land to learn about what is needed. Another step that Otto Scharmer describes is listen. Listen to each other with an open mind, an open heart, and an open will. My friend Janice Ikeda from Vibrant Hawaii talks about 3 piko from the Hawaiian perspective and compares it to Scharmer's 3 openings. The piko po'o on the top of the head connects us to spirit, ancestors, higher power. The piko waina here, our navel, connects us to our mothers and our current generation. And the piko ma'i connects us to future generations, our descendants. So when we think about that, listen with an open mind. Listen to the wisdom of our kupuna, of our higher power, of spirit, ancestors. Listen with an open heart to care for our current generation. And listen with an open will to do what we need to do to make future generations thrive. So I am being told I have very short time. I'm going to skip over here. So just to say that what we're doing in Waimea aligns with what's happening in the world. And in fact, Auntie Momi will tell history that we've often been on the leading edge. And after reading Dr. Billy Bergen's books, he talks about how Parker Ranch was the lead in their industry as far as how to take care of the land, how to take care of cattle, how to take care of employees. So this is what's happening in Waimea at this time. The world is experiencing upheaval and transformation, and more we're realizing we can't sit back and just let it happen. We have to take action, we have to do something, we have to use our knowledge and our experience and that of our kupuna to actually figure out what to do that fits this place in this time. We can learn from our farmers, our teachers, our scientists, and our kupuna. We need to listen to each other with open minds, open hearts, and open wills, with respect and courtesy, even when we don't agree. And as we've been working in community, we find all the time that people have different styles, different ways of understanding, and we're working really hard to say, okay, you have a different opinion, I have a different opinion, but we're gonna work together, we're gonna figure this out. So that's what we're doing today. We're also here so that you meet a lot of people. And next time you see somebody in KTA, say hello, aloha, I saw you at the community summit, you're part of our community. And so, today there's a lot of things that people are doing. For example, the stickers that you got that say, no change Waimea, let Waimea change you. It isn't that we're not changing, we're transforming, but we want to do it that fits this place, fits Waimea. And Steve Best, actually, he's selling those stickers. We bought them for you all. And the money is being used to plant thousands of ohia on the pu'us above Anna Ranch, so that people in the community can be involved in helping to regenerate that forest, and can also teach from what it is, and it helps to attract water and hold water, so all good things. Today's learning sessions, the other one I wanted to point out, another good example is the Hawaii Songwriters Festival. They're teaching our local musicians to have a career in the music industry. It's a viable economic opportunity. And a way to share the kind sound, as Dagan Bernstein has a song called that, I loved it, the kind sound with the world. So today's learning sessions have been organized in 4 tracks, according to those sessions, and I'm actually going to let Mahina talk about that. We encourage you to visit. I hope you all have had a chance to see the different organizations. And I hope you've had an opportunity to see the pledge outside. We did send it out to all of you. Please sign it. Talk more about the pledge. Okay, so the pledge actually grew from the past 2 years, attending community meetings and hearing what people are saying and what would really help to make our community be one that we're respecting each other. Let's see. We're working together. So what we say is, if you agree that this is the kind of Waimea you want, where we protect and preserve who we are, unite us to care for one another, take care for future generations, be humble and kind, sharing respect and aloha in every interaction, sharing our gifts, our talents, and fostering a feeling of safety so that all voices are heard. So I invite you to sign if you are in agreement, and I think I'm going to turn it over to Mahina now. Did I say enough?
How do you sum up the life of an individual in just a few words? That's pretty difficult to do. This morning you will hear a snippet of a story of a place as told through the lens of my papa, James Faye Kimolinzi. What I share today is not the message that has been sitting with me all week. It is the reminder who came this morning at 6:15. Last year I was asked to be a keynote at the National Indian Education Association conference in Palm Springs, California. Mount Jacinto stands and stood watch over the sweeping desert landscape in all of its forms. I learned much in the desert as we brought the water from our home to their desert ecosystem in the form of memories and tears. I'm going to share with you an excerpt of a poem that I wrote the morning of my delivery. And it goes like this. It's called Here in the Desert. I came into the desert and was transformed by the river of incandescent life who moved us in steady flow to the village. The taste of time, aged minerals, and particles of fine dust mixed with sand as old as time met us at the door. We step into the fluid flow of the village. It is a bustling energy here in the home of the Kahuia. Mount Jacinto stands proud and is crowned by the sun. The agua caliente maintains a dance of heat beneath our feet. End excerpt. From the front door of my parents' home in Waimea, Hawaii, where I come from, our personal story of Pilina Aina developing one's relationship with Aina is powerful. When I think of Aina, I acknowledge values and legacy of family, the strength of community, and resilience of people. My mom's dad, James Faye Kimolinzi, is Manaleo. Manaleo is translated in Hawaiian to mean one who has inherited the knowledge of his language or a native speaker. If that is the truest definition of the term, after watching my papa all my life and learning from him, I personally offer that the term Manaleo could perhaps also mean he who is birthed through his language. My task today is to offer you just two, ailepo, small morsels of soil-filled nutrients and minerals from our home, and through the short stories and experience that I share with you today. Pops and I had a close relationship, and often he would share about the land beneath our feet and how that land was land that he knew in the soul of his bones. He talked about the name of our home, Waimea, and how special it was to come from this place where, in his childhood, water flowed effortlessly and freely to the ocean that was just and is just 10 miles down the road. In this cycle of fresh meeting salt, new life was birthed, and abundance was renewed at the Mulivai, the estuary. One day, I asked Papa, what does the word Waimea mean to you? He thought about it and said, well, Miss Pomai, which is what he used to call me, Waimea means everything. Waimea means everything. Waimea means everything. And then he said, Waimea means everything that has to do with water. The wet side of our homeland is always wet. This is a direct result of old-growth forests remaining intact from the beginning of its life pre-human contact. Before 1793, this forest extended from our highest mountains to the ocean, capturing the rains and establishing the freshwater lands that surround Hawaii Island till today. The rain follows the forest. Is the intelligence of our ecosystems and the wisdom of our kupuna who lived in partnership with the systems of Earth. Pololekila, is that correct? Is that correct? Okay. In our time together, Papa shared many gems with me. One of them is firmly rooted in the core of my bones and is the purpose of my sharing today. Miss Pomai, Hele Ivaha, E Ailepo. Translated from the front door of my mom and my dad's house, from my papa's house, it means, Pomai, go outside and go eat dirt. I was 5 years old when he first shared these words with me through the shroud of sawdust flying in the air. I couldn't honestly tell you at the time that I knew exactly what his words meant. But what I can tell you is that I said, okay. Check out this image, y'all. I picked up my mama's 7 medicine bottles that I had filled with sawdust. I moved out of the garage to the safety of the grass, the green grass, and the poinsettia garden to dig holes. It was a reminder to me that when things get hard, I often would hear him whisper, Miss Pomai, Hele Ivaho e Ailepo. He was referring to the lepo, the soil of Waimea. Papa Kimo lived a simple life on his 2-acre homestead, often tending to his mala'ayar gardens that fed him and grandma and the family. Duck and chicken eggs often came from him, as well as leafy greens of all kinds, rare citrus fruits, and a mismatch of seasonal vegetables. Once a year, maybe he would put hipa sheep or cow goat in our freezer. Sometimes he brought over surprise fruits or vegetables, and right away we knew what that meant. He had gotten them from a friend who didn't want to eat it, so he passed them on to us. And now we have to figure out how to eat it. My first memories of him are of gladiola bulbs, orange, pink, blush, and wine-colored makuli-kuli or ice plant, the pink peppercorn trees, uala, and strawberries. Growing food was his passion, and feeding his family was his calling in life. With that said, my papa's prize garden love was a staple crop of our people, our older brother Halua or Kalo. Papa loved to cultivate halua, and he did it with confidence and honor. And so now, in the interest of time, I'm going to leave us with that story. I'm going to leave us with the story and with the pattern within the story that is repetitive, and it is that of water. It is that of the water that flows to the tap that we turn on. It is that of the water that flows under our feet that we cannot see. It is that of the water that flows from that akulani makoi kalavanui kalavalani and falls to the ground and fills our aquifers and fills our reservoirs. But I ask again, Ovaila Oi, who are you? And how is it that you are helping to transform and regenerate the water cycle? I share with you the story about the desert because to a degree, when I was born here, there are 800 of us in this town. There's about 13,000 of us now. But in the 13,000 of us growing into this community, I ask again, Ovaila Oi, what is the water cycle? And how are we helping to rejuvenate the water cycle of Waimea? And so, I move us now to the imagery part, to the part that helps to bring together the fields, to the part that helps us to recognize how important it is for us to collaborate and to collectively come together to regenerate the water cycle. For if we have water, we have nothing. And so, I offer these terms. I'm going to ask you to say them with me or after me. Waimea, Waikelehua, Waieme, Waiawia, Kamoa, Lailai, Waiaka, Waikoloa, Waiki'i, Waikoloa, Waikoloaiki, Uki, Waiakulina, Awaiakiakua, Awaiakiakua, Waiau, Waima, Wakuula, Wailea, Waiulaula, Puukikoni, Kiave Vai, Waikailio, Waikahalulu, Puukavaivai, Puuwauaka, Waiapuka, Kawainui, Waipio, Kaala, Waikoikoi, Waikawawa, Waimalu, Kawaihuakane, Hopuai, Wailua, Waihilau, just to name a few. Waimea is a network, like the movie Avatar. Waimea is a network connected to all of these places of water. Every single one of these places of water, these tipuka of water, hold Waimea in space, suspends Waimea in place. To say their names means we know. To say their names means we know that she's connected, like the Navi tribe to the tree. Let that imagery sink in. And so, now we go ahead together, we collect our own, we create our own imagery through these words. It was written by Reverend James John Colino, who for a time spent part of his life here in Waimea.
Upon
so now we're gonna stand up and we're gonna do it together. Just the first person in the chorus. Okay. Go. But we still gotta become Kamaya, we still gotta develop and learn about, correct? Alright? Okay? So, now we're gonna sing it. This is the first two lines. Okay, now we're gonna ignite. So next part song. Kila kila kela kela ikala try. Kila kila kela ikala. Let's start the music from the top. Ready? Maika'i, Waimea, ikauka. Kila kila kela kela ikala. Next time, you get them ready. Ready? Nafu, everybody repeat after me. Nafu, kini lahu lahu. Olu. Kamana oke ike. Nafu kini lahu lahu. Olu kamana oke ike. Then we'll pop food and we're going into the chorus, okay? Oh yeah. Okay, we listen for the killer. Maika'i, Waimea, ikauka. Kila kila kela kela ikala. Nafu kini lehu lehu. Olu kamana o. Olu kamana o. That song really amazing. Really amazing. Okay. Next part is the chorus. It's the hui. We gotta get through this in a minute and a half. So hold me in mind. Keko kolomai. And Maiki'anu. Maiki'anu is fine too. Keko kolomai Maiki'anu. Hui koni. Maika'i. Oh lala ikala. Maiki'ahi. Umehana. Eya. Okay? So this is how the chorus sounds. Don't forget to take a breath. Just go higher. come up and finish with the transition. Waimea is thus standing in the uplands, resting high above, majestic in the calm. It is in its countless hills, are a comfort to behold. When the cold creeps in, it chills and tingles the skin, basking in the sun or snuggling to a fire, a heartfelt warmth for this land. Kia aloha nui a kākou mahalo.
What a treat. We had this beautiful ohana share their lovely, lovely voices. Let's say that. Let's bask in pumehana, in the warmth and the love and the generosity of all of you and all of us. Pumehana keia aina. Pumehana keia aina. Pumehana kākou. Ha'oia. So, we are also so blessed to be here at Kanoka'aina Public Charter School. And we thank Te Benioni and Owen Sarsona and the site crew and all of the kumu who might be here, maybe some of the haumana that might be here. And this has been a vision and dream of this community. I want to recognize Dr. Kukahakalo and her husband, Uncle Nalei Kahakalo. Taffy wives, and all of the founding kumu here, Auntie Didi Bertelman, of course, Auntie Val Hano, many, many more. Anna B is here, Auntie Komain, Uncle Chai Paishan. Perhaps many of you helped to contribute to establish this learning community in this beloved place of Pu'ukapu. And I would like to say, Tate I asked him if he would share a few words, and suspiciously, he kind of left, and he's going to come back. And so I will extol the wondrous efforts of this learning community and our Hawaiian charter schools. They have established a learning community and these beautiful facilities in partnership with the Pu'ukapu community and homesteaders, not only for their learning from K through 12th grade, but if you didn't know, this is a satellite campus in partnership with Palamanui. They also have their own preschool. They have a number. It's been a while. I used to work here as well for a number of years. And when we got to help set up, I was just astounded by the number of after-school programs that are happening that all of you are lifting up. I don't know, there's a number. There's like Riflery Club, there's like, we are on ag land, and so there's definitely agriculture, light ranching that's going on. There's a number of, I think there's jujitsu, Waimea Jiu-Jitsu is placed here. There's halau, several halau that are participating in halau ho'olako. They are going to be building out and finalizing their commercial certified kitchen so that all of Waimea can benefit. So raise your hands if this is the first time to this campus and in this gym. Awesome, that's what we suspected, is probably about a third. So welcome to Kanoka'aina Public Charter School and the Kalo Ohana, and know that this is a resource that was built with all of us in mind. And thank you for your support of this Hawaiian Focus Charter School to continue to malama their very special, unique kuleana, to love this place and to join forces and efforts with the collective community.